What's up, everybody? Rad Drummer here. Today we have my 13x7 pork pie, brown sparkle, red sparkle inlay snare we're going to be fixing up today, changing out the heads, the wires, everything. Now you'll take your tuning key and you're going to detune all the tension rods. All right, next you're going to have a magnetic tray and start to finger loose all your tension rods. All right, now you're going to go ahead and remove the hoop. And then you're going to go ahead and remove the tray. Remove that dirty ass snare head. And then you're going to lift it up and go to give it a smell. And next, we will be flipping the drum over and doing the same thing on the other side. All right, next we're going to remove the snare wire by loosening the tension rods on the snare throw off and the snare butt. And this, you're going to use your drum key to do that. All right, go ahead and grab your magnetic tray and loosen up the tension rods with the plates on both the snare throw off and the butt plate and put them in the tray. And then also remove the snare wire. Next, with your tuning key, we're going to go ahead and detune all the tension rods. Make sure to have your magnetic plate, which you can find at Harbor Freight. All right, now you're going to loosen all the tension rods with your fingers and go ahead and put them in the magnetic plate. All right, remove the tray, remove the hoop, get rid of that nasty head, and go ahead and give it another smell. All right, next we're going to clean the shell. So take a microfiber cloth, dampen it a little bit, and start to clean the lugs. When I got the snare, the lugs were a little dirty, so we're going to go ahead and clean the dust off first. All right, all clean and done. All right, next you're going to go ahead and glove up, which I got these at Harbor Freight, so make sure to put these gloves on for this next part. You're going to go ahead and grab a piece of steel wool, and what we're going to do is we're going to be cleaning off the pitting, off the lugs, and the throw off. All right, now we're done with that. Shell's looking pretty good. Let's move on to the next part. Take off your gloves. All right, next we're going to go ahead and wipe down the hoop. We're going to clean off all the dirt, grime off of that. You're going to take a microfiber cloth, again, dampen with water, and go around and clean it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and clean the same thing on the other hoop. So take your microfiber cloth with dampened water and clean it. All right, so next you're going to go ahead and glove up, grab your hoop, grab your steel wool. Go ahead and put your other glove on because you don't want that steel stuff all over your hands. And we're going to go ahead and start getting the pitting off of the snare hoop. All right, looking good. So for the other hoop, it's going to be the same thing, so I won't show you that. All right, next we're going to clean and polish the shell. So you're going to take your Music Nomad drum detailer, spray it on a microfiber cloth, Don't put too much, just, a couple dabs. And now we're going to start to wipe down the shell and the hardware on the shell. All right, and there you have it. Now we're going to move on to the hoops. Same thing, spray your detailer on your microfiber cloth. And we're going to start to wipe down the hoop. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hoop. So get your microfiber cloth and go ahead and spray the detailer on. And now we're going to wipe it down. All right, now we're going to grab some WD-40 and we're going to go around the lugs and spray into the holes so that we can lube them up. All right, guys, now we're going to go ahead and put the resonant head on. In this case, I used a Remo Ambassador Hazy snare side. That's usually my go-to for bottom heads. And we're going to go ahead and put the hoop on. Make sure that the logo is aligned with the badge on the drum. Make sure that the hoop holes are aligned with the lug holes. All right, guys, so next I like to get some nylon washers, which in this case those are Gibraltar, but there's different brands you can use. And I like to put them on the tension rod underneath the metal washer so that there's no metal to metal contact. All right, so go ahead and open that up. Grab one of those right there. Go ahead and add it to your tension rod. And that's all she wrote. Go ahead and put it and start tying it down. All right, now we're going to go and start putting all the tension rods on. Finger tight them until you can't finger tight anymore. All right, guys, notice there's ripples on the drum head. So what you're going to go ahead and do is take your drum key. You're going to go around the whole drum, and you're going to tighten up the tension rods to where you see no ripples. So just keep going around and keep looking at the drum. All right, go with your finger, touch the head, make sure that there's no ripples. Go around with your key if you need to tighten some more, and that's it. All right, guys, next, time to put the snare wires on. So I like to use the Evans Pierce Sound from Diodario. In my opinion, I think they're the best in the market as far as snare wires. So we're going to go ahead and use a 20 strand for a 13-inch. Go ahead and put it on the drum. And it comes with, those cords. I don't like to use cords. So we're going to go ahead and just put those on the side. I'm going to save those, though. I like to use the straps instead. To me, the straps are a little bit more sturdier versus the cords because they get untangled. All right, next, with your snare wires, go ahead and make sure that it's balanced in the middle. Just like that. Look at both sides. Now you're going to take your strap right there. You're going to go ahead and insert in the slot on the snare wire. Just like that. You're going to go ahead and crimp it by balancing it out. Make sure that the two ends are touching each other. Go ahead and press down. And just like that, you got the first one in. Now we're going to go ahead and do the other one. All right, guys, now that you have your straps in on your snare wires and it's balanced out the middle, now you're going to go ahead and start with the throw-off side. You're going to go ahead and take the plate and the tension rods. Make sure to hold your fingers on the snare wires. All right. Make sure that it's balanced. You're going to go ahead and tighten in those tension rods in those holes there. All right, next you're going to get your drum key. And you're going to go and tighten those tension rods up on the snare throw off. Always make sure that the throw off is off, by the way, on this process. A little tedious. Now you're going to do the same thing for the snare butt side. Go ahead and pull, tug down the snare strap on that side. Again, take your plate and your tension rods. You're going to go ahead and tighten them in. Same thing. Go ahead and take your drum key. We're going to go ahead and tighten those tension rods up. Make sure to hold down the strap and pull it as tug as you can. Make sure that the snare butt and the snare throw off are tightly tight. And that's all she wrote. All right, let's go ahead and work on the batter side. So for this drum, I'm going to be using a Remo Power Stroke 3 snare head. So make sure that the logo, again, is aligned up with the badge. Just like that. Going to go ahead and give it a nice little press there to release some of that air and those bubbles out. Stretch it out. All right, same thing. Go ahead and grab your snare hoop. Make sure that the holes are aligned with the lug holes. Press it down. Just like that. Now you're going to grab your tension rod and start to go around the drum and finger tight them in. All right, next we're going to go ahead and press it down once again. Stretch out the head a little bit. Just do it a few times, and then you're going to take your drum key and go around and tighten up all the tension rods so that they're not loose. All right, next I can use my Remo tuning key. I'm going to go around in a star pattern and just do full turns. Start to tune the drum. Now you can tune it however you want. I like to tune my snares pretty high, so that's what we're going to do here. So just go around the head again in a star pattern, and you're going to go ahead and tune it up. That's all she wrote. All right, now we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the snare side. Full turns in the star pattern. And always make sure that you don't overly tune your bottom head because you don't want it to pop on the snare basket. So make sure that you have enough space between the head and the hoop. All right, guys, now we're just going to go back and forth between batter and resonant head. Make sure that everything's tuned up and looking good. And that's all she wrote. And this is pretty much the end of the video. Next, I'm going to go ahead and show you how the snare drum sounds. Thank you. Again, guys, my name is Ryan, aka Rad Drummer. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.